Hello, hello, hello everyone. Welcome back to another video. Alright, let's check it out what we got for you right now. We have a 143 scale 1986 Fiat Regata Weekend 100S. Now, this car for some markets around the world was quite popular. Not sure so much about the Weekend, which is the station wagon version, but I know the sedan in some markets it was very well accepted. Now, before I forget, this is a resin model. You know, resin models are usually more detailed, they're harder to find, they're more expensive to pay, and this one fits all the choices. It's harder, it's very expensive because they're hard to find. The Regata Weekend, it's not easy, but I found it and I love it because it's part of the 80s European models, brands from the 80s are quite popular in some markets. I mean, markets like beyond Italy, which it was their homeland. We're talking about other markets like Argentina. They used to produce also the Fiat Regata. But quite an interesting story about the Fiat Regata from Argentina. They used to spell Regata with a double T. So, not really sure they wanted to separate a little bit from the regular Fiat Regata from Italy. But they used to spell the Regata with a double T. And that's a fact. Now, this is a 1986 model, like I mentioned before. Resin brand. It's Kess. Kess made this model. You know, one thing I did forget to mention. It's not only in Latin America they used to call this Fiat Regata with a one T, with a double T. Also in Sweden. I'm not really sure why. Also in Sweden, but I think it's because, from what I hear, sometimes there's certain markets that the way the model name may be offensive, translating to their native language, so they try to fix it a little bit so they don't make it so offensive for their markets. But I'm not sure if that's the case with in Sweden. Why is it called Regata with double T? Not really sure. Now, the way it looks, it's exactly how they look in real life. I seen they were not as popular as the sedan, uh, but uh, but they were attractive too. I love the color, that two-tone color from the black bumper all the way down with all around with the molding in the sides, and then all connects to the doesn't connect, but it all goes through. It looks like it's connected with the bumpers. Those wheel caps are weird because they cover the whole tire, but I like them. I really like them. But it's just weird because it does you cannot see anything beyond just the whole cover. But it was typical from Fiat Regata from that era. I remember seeing them. Now, the Fiat Regata, if you know more about their model, they ran from, I'll tell you right now. Okay, in Italy, they went from production because they produced in Italy and they were produced in Argentina. In Italy was produced between 1983 until 1990. And in Argentina was produced between 1985 till 1995. Usually I have noticed that in Latin America, a lot of the European models, they extend them a little longer because some of these models were very popular. So when they're popular, you want to make sure you keep them running a little longer because it's still being wanted. It's another model that ran forever and ever and ever in example in other markets around the world was like the Renault 4, the Peugeot 504. They ran after they stopped in some markets. They kept making them doing it. They kept doing it in other markets around the world because they get popular, so they want to still see them, I guess, and sell them. All right, guys. So I'm gonna let it go around a few times, and I'll be right back. Alright, guys, so let it go around a few times. You have a good look at the car. Just to briefly go through it, engine wise, they had 1.3, 1.1, and that was only in Greece, a 1.3, and a 1.5, and a 1.6. These are gas engines. In Latin America, they also had a 1.4 and a 2.0. Diesel engines, they had a 1.7, a 1.9, and a 1.9 turbo. So quite interesting. Now, the successor for this brand was actually the Fiat Tempera, which the one that took over when these cars were no longer being made. Alright, guys, don't forget to give me that beautiful thumbs up. I always appreciate them. Don't forget to click and subscribe, and click the bell next to the subscribe button. Also, comment below. Let me know. Do you remember these cars? Were they popular in your country? Did you ever see them or drive them? Or you're just like me that we own them only in a 143 scale or 43 scale or any other scale that you might have it in that I may not know. I'm not sure if they make them in other scales. Alright, guys, so take care of yourselves more than ever, and goodbye.